So, are you familiar with the various generations and their notable members? First, what is a generation, and what is the range of years each generation spans?
Generations are groups of people who are born around the same time and share similar cultural experiences. The boundaries of each generation may be defined differently by various sources, but the following is a general breakdown of the names and approximate birth years of the current generations. Since the turn of the 20th century, these are the generations and the birth year range. The Lost Generation, 1883 to 1900. The Greatest Generation, 1901 to 1924. The Silent Generation, 1925 to 1945. Baby Boomers, 1946 to 1964. Generation X, 1965 to 1980. Millennials, 1981 to 1996. Generation Z, 1997 to 2012. Generation Alpha, 2013 to 2025. Keep in mind that these are rough estimates and there is some overlap between the generations. So let's get into it. The Lost Generation, 1883 to 1900. The Lost Generation is a term that was popularized by Gertrude Stein and Ernest Hemingway to refer to the generation of young people who came of age during World War I, 1914 to 1918. This generation includes people born between 1883 and 1900. The term Lost Generation was used to describe the sense of disillusionment and aimlessness that many young people felt after experiencing the horrors of war and the collapse of traditional values. The Lost Generation is often associated with the countercultural movements of the 1920s, including the flapper and jazz culture, as well as the artistic and literary movements of the time, such as the modernist movement in literature. Some notable members of the Lost Generation include Alexander Graham Bell, Scottish-born American inventor and scientist, best known for his invention of the telephone, born in 1847. Thomas Edison, an American businessman and inventor who was born in 1847 and is credited with creating the phonograph, the motion picture camera, and the incandescent light bulb. Henry Ford, an American industrialist and the creator of the Ford Motor Company, was born in 1863 and is best known for inventing the assembly line method of mass production. Nikola Tesla, an American-born Serbian inventor, electrical engineer, and physicist, was born in 1856 and is best known for his work on the design of the modern alternating current (AC) electricity supply system. It baffles me why they are referred to as the Lost Generation when they were responsible for all the major innovations that brought us into the modern era. The Greatest Generation, 1901 to 1924. The Greatest Generation is a term that is often used to describe the generation of people who grew up during the Great Depression and served in World War II. This generation includes people born between 1901 and 1924. The Greatest Generation is renowned for having a strong sense of obligation, accountability, and dedication to helping others. Many members of this generation fought in World War II, and they are often credited with helping to defeat the Axis powers and restore stability to the world. After the war, they played a significant role in rebuilding society and creating the prosperous world that we have today. People from the Greatest Generation are frequently praised for their perseverance, selflessness, and commitment to their families and communities. They are known for their resilience, perseverance, and ability to overcome challenges. Many members of this generation sacrificed their own personal interests for the greater good, and they are often revered for their contributions to society. The average age of members of the Greatest Generation today is between 90 and 100. Many of them have passed away, but their legacy continues to inspire and influence future generations. Some notable members of the Greatest Generation include George H. W. Bush, 1924 to 2018. Wernher von Braun is a German-American space architect and aerospace engineer who was born in 1912 and is renowned for his work on rocket technology and space exploration. John F. Kennedy, the 35th President of the United States, was born in 1917. Nelson Mandela, South African anti-apartheid revolutionary, politician, and philanthropist, born in 1918. These are just a few examples of the many talented and influential people who were born during this time period. The Greatest Generation made important social contributions in a variety of fields, including politics, science, entertainment, and more. Many of these individuals are known for their bravery, dedication, and contributions to society, and they are often revered for their legacy. I'll say that overthrowing the old world order and bringing in the American century is one of the greatest accomplishments of the greatest generation.
The Silent Generation, 1925 to 1945. The term silent generation is used to refer to the group of people who were born between 1925 and 1945. Due to their reputation for diligence, commitment, and societal contributions, this generation is also sometimes referred to as the greatest generation. The silent generation grew up during the Great Depression and World War II, and they were shaped by these significant historical events. During the war, many members of this generation worked in vital industries or served in the military, and they were renowned for their sense of responsibility and duty. After the war, the silent generation played a significant role in building the modern economy and helping to create the prosperous society that we have today. They are often characterized as being disciplined, hardworking, and respectful of authority. Today, the silent generation is typically considered to be in their late 70s to late 90s.
Although many of them have retired or are about to retire, they still contribute significantly to society and are frequently active in their communities.
Some notable members of the silent generation include Neil Armstrong, American astronaut, pilot, and engineer, known for being the first person to walk on the moon, born in 1930. Martin Luther King Jr., American Baptist minister and civil rights leader, born in 1929. Elvis Presley, American singer, actor, and musician, known as the King of Rock and Roll, born in 1935. Marilyn Monroe, American actress, model, and singer, born in 1926.
This generation, in my opinion, represents a confused generation because they interacted with both the old and new worlds.
Baby Boomers, 1946 to 1964.
The baby boomer generation includes all individuals born between 1946 and 1964. This generation is frequently characterized as being diligent and determined to succeed in both their personal and professional lives. Baby boomers grew up in a time of exceptional economic prosperity, and many of them benefited from the expansion of the middle class, the accessibility of affordable education, and the possibility of home ownership.
Significant historical occurrences like the Cold War, the Vietnam War, and the Civil Rights Movement also had an impact on baby boomers.
Many of them took an active role in social and political movements, and their influence on society has endured.
The typical age range for baby boomers today is late 50s to late 70s.
Although many of them have retired or are about to retire, they still contribute significantly to society and are frequently active in their communities.
Notable baby boomers include Steve Jobs, co-founder and former CEO of Apple Incorporated, born in 1955. Bill Gates, co-founder and former CEO of Microsoft, born in 1955. Jeff Bezos, founder and CEO of Amazon, born in 1964. Michael Jackson, American singer, songwriter, and dancer, born in 1958. These are just a few examples of the many talented and influential people who were born during this time period. Generation X, 1965 to 1980. Generation X, also known as Gen X, is the generation of people born between 1965 and 1980. This generation is often characterized as being independent, resourceful, and adaptable. Generation X grew up during a time of rapid social and technological change, and they are known for their adaptability and ability to navigate change. Many members of this generation have a strong sense of individualism and a desire for independence, and they are often seen as being more skeptical and less trusting of institutions than previous generations. Given that they fall between the baby boomers, born 1946 to 1964, and the millennials or Generation Y, born 1981 to 1996, Generation X is also known as the middle generation. Despite the fact that they are frequently disregarded or overshadowed by these older and more well-known generations, they have significantly impacted society in a number of different ways. Today, Generation X is typically considered to be in their late 40s to late 50s. Many of them are in mid-career or have already reached senior leadership positions in their fields. They are still active in their communities and continue to play a significant role in society. Famous members of the generation include Elon Musk is the founder and CEO of Tesla Incorporated and SpaceX, and he was born in 1971. Google's co-founder and CEO, Larry Page, was born in 1973. Sergey Brin, co-founder of Google, born in 1973. Satya Nadella, CEO of Microsoft, born in 1967.
Generation Y, Millennials, 1981 to 1996.
People born between 1981 and 1996 are considered millennials, also referred to as Generation Y. They are a generation that comes after Generation X and comes before Generation Z.
A common stereotype of millennials is that they are more diverse, socially conscious, and connected to the internet than earlier generations.
They came of age in the early 21st century, a time of rapid technological change, globalization, and economic uncertainty.
Many of them have grown up with access to the internet and social media, which has shaped their communication and relationships in ways that differ from previous generations. As compared to previous generations, millennials are frequently characterized as being more accepting of different viewpoints and lifestyles. They are frequently perceived as being more politically engaged, socially conscious, and sensitive to environmental and social issues. Millennials have, however, also had to deal with issues like a large amount of student debt, a competitive job market, and rising housing costs. This generation's economic prospects in comparison to earlier ones have been questioned by some as a result of these difficulties.
There are many notable people who are millennials, including Facebook's co-founder and CEO, Mark Zuckerberg, was born in 1984. Taylor Swift is a 1989-born American singer-songwriter.
American socialite, businesswoman, and media personality Kim Kardashian was born in 1980.
Canadian singer and songwriter Justin Bieber was born in 1994.
This is just a small sample of the many notable millennials who have made significant contributions in a variety of fields.
Generation Alpha, 2013 to 2025.
Generation Alpha, also known as the I generation or Gen Alpha, refers to people born between 2013 and 2025.
They are millennials' offspring and the first generation to have been entirely born in the 21st century.
The Gen Alpha generation is the first to have grown up with widespread access to technology, such as smartphones and tablets, since a very young age. As a result, they are frequently referred to as being very tech-savvy and digitally literate. Gen Alpha is also expected to be the most diverse generation yet, with a global population that is more racially and ethnically diverse than any previous generation. Because Gen Alpha parents place a high value on education and are prepared to invest in their children's future, they are also likely to be highly educated. It is too early to say what the defining characteristics or trends of Gen Alpha will be, as they are still very young. Though it is anticipated that they will play a significant role in influencing the future of the world, they will also be very connected, flexible, and influential. Please let me know which generation you belong to and which one you believe had the greatest influence by leaving a comment in the section below. If you enjoyed this video and are interested in learning more about the various generations, their accomplishments, social challenges, and defining moments, please click the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell to receive notifications when I post new videos.